47 meters down. Now, why wasn't it a box office smash success? I'm going to say it's because we don't use the metric system in America. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Andrew here, the horror host for Generation X, Y, and Z, and this is a quick review, recap, and react of the 2017 movie that is known as 47 Meters Down. This movie is written and directed by Johannes Roberts with Ernst Riera with a co-writer credit, and it stars Mandy Moore as Lisa, Claire Holt as her sister Kate, and Matthew Modine as Captain Taylor, who for some reason has the same color scheme as Quint from Jaws. Oh yeah, I'm sure that wasn't done by accident. So let's get into it here. The story is fairly weak. The now ex-boyfriend of Lisa, who is never shown on screen, says that she was boring, and that was the reason for dumping her. Sister Kate suggests that they go and live it up a bit, so the sisters decide that they're going to go shark diving in a cage. You know, thinking about it now, maybe the ex-boyfriend wasn't talking about her life actions, and maybe something a little more intimate. You know, she might have been a little vanilla, if you know what I'm talking about there. But then again, if she was going to broaden her horizons on that side of things, it would be a totally different movie. The concept to me is a pretty good one. The sisters' cable that is on the shark cage breaks, and they are stuck at the bottom of the seafloor, which is 47 meters down, and there is a shark frenzy above them. The special effects are good, and the sharks look good, but the way they're used is just downright terrible. I mean, sharks this size would not miss their target so many times. I mean, if they did, they wouldn't be great white sharks. They'd be like not-so-great white sharks. The cinematographer of this film is Mark Silk, and by far he is the star of the show. An example of that is that he went to go and mince up broccoli to put it in the water to make it look more murky and make it look like the typical type of debris and organisms that's located at the bottom of the water. This makes the scenes much more believable and heightens up the suspense of the movie. And unfortunately, the suspense is completely blown due to the fact that we're given jump scares. Cheap jump scares, mind you, with loud sound blasts. They're cheap. Mandy Moore and Claire Holt do an average performance in this movie, but that's not a dig on their acting abilities at all. I mean, I've seen them in other movies, and they've performed very well. Actually, they've excelled in other films. I just really think that this falls on the writer/director, Johannes Roberts. The sibling dialogue is meh at best, and the foreshadowing in this movie is downright spoon-fed to you. And I'm going to give you an example of that in just a moment. But also the plot holes. I mean, the holes in this plot. It makes it very difficult for you to be on the edge of your seat when that is what this type of movie is supposed to get you to do. Now, I'm going to go into some spoiler territory, which happens to be 47 meters down. That's convenient. So, if you don't want to hear about the ending, go ahead and just stop it right now. You have been warned. Warning over, let's get back into the story. Now, all of this, like I had said before, was to impress an ex that doesn't want to have anything to do with the main character anymore. And that motivation doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And it doesn't make me want to root for the protagonist. The protagonist is a schmuck. I mean, jumping into a shark cage to impress somebody that doesn't want to be with you? Why do I even care if you live and die? That's no motivation for me, for your motivation. So therefore, the suspense is completely sucked right out of the film because you don't care for the character. Side note, James Van Der Beek was supposed to be the ex-boyfriend in this film, but somehow ended up on the cutting room floor, I guess. Don't worry, James. There's plenty of other fish in the sea. So after the sisters are worried about, 1, the sketchiness of the captain, 2, the quality of the boat, which looks like the orca from the movie Jaws had a little brother or sister, and the quality of the cage, the ladies still decide to go in. As a wise man once said, stupid is, stupid does. Yeah, exactly. And like I said earlier, the cable breaks and they are at the bottom of 47 meters, and this is about 150 feet below the surface, in case you're wondering and you don't know the ratio between meters and feet. And they can't come right back up because of the decompression that happened, and they will get the bends and die if they rush all the way back up. Now, that technobabble is legit, and it is something that almost everybody has heard about, so the audience can kind of relate to that. But there is a problem, such as there should have been a compression for falling down that quickly, down 47 meters, as in the sisters. Both sisters' eardrums should have been blown out. Heck, they could have even died from that. And the air that was in the tank, that would have changed shelf life as well. air in the tank that would have been 1 hour would have been changed to 15 minutes due to that compression, meaning they would have died from the injuries, or at least lack of oxygen, pretty quickly. So if you're going to use the logic of you can't go back up because you're going to get the bends, you're going to have to go the other way around also. Otherwise, you are just not making the plot believable at all. And here's another example. The radio communication through the masks. They have to go and travel halfway up to talk to the boat, which is enough so they're not getting the bends as well, and then they have to go back down to the cage. Now, besides that, their eardrums should have been blown out because of the drop. The ears are not in the mask. So therefore, the ears are completely submerged underwater. How would they have been able to hear any radio? But the one thing that I really have the toughest time here is the spoon-fed device. And when I say spoon-fed device, I mean literally, num-num, here you go. I'm going to feed it to you. Spoon-fed device here. See, right after the sister goes ahead and gets attacked and is just off-screen, she disappears, Lisa, the main protagonist, hooks up a spare tank that was dropped from the boat above. Why? The tanks were not attached on a line, and then the ladies could just climb back up with the line is beyond me. Again, I guess somebody wasn't looking at the script when this thing was getting done. Either way, when Lisa is radioed from Captain Taylor to watch out because when you switch the tanks, the nitrogen level could make her hallucinate. And what happens? As soon as she hooks it up, the sister comes back. Oh yeah, that's not a hallucination at all. So the sisters are rescued just in time, and Lisa is looking at the cut on her hand while on the boat, and the blood is just waving in the air. And why is that? Because she's hallucinating, and she is alone, still in the cage, watching the blood float away from her hand. Due to the spoon-fed device, this is not that much of a twist, but what would be cool is if the ending we see her air deplete, and she's never rescued. Boom! Bummer ending, but no, this is Hollywood. Let's get a happy ending in there instead. And what happens? The Coast Guard shows up and dives down to get her. And they don't have any protective equipment from the sharks, but hey, the great white shark recognizes authority figures. So apparently that happens, and Lisa gets rescued as the lone sole survivor of 47 meters down. How do I rate this movie now? Well, let me start off with what I recommend this movie. And the answer would be yes, for one reason. Maybe two reasons, actually. The first reason is visually. It is a beautiful picture to look at. Like I said, the cinematographer is the star of the show. If you want to see what it's like to block shots out underwater and to see how to film underwater, this is a great movie to watch. Otherwise, the only other reason why I could see anybody watching this is it's Shark Week and you've watched all the previous year's specials and you're trying to kill some time until the new shows come up. Then maybe, yeah, you could watch this film as well. Otherwise, my rating, 2 out of 5 skulls. So what is your favorite shark movie? Go ahead, leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, tap that like button. And if you are new to the channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you click that bell icon on there. That way you become part of the notification squad and you get notified the moment that I upload. And I will see you in the next video.